So I have a friend, and this friend is constantly going through experiences within life that are meant to mature them. Yet they never mature because they lack the maturity needed to properly assess the conflicts that they are experiencing through these circumstantial situations. So, as they grow in experience, as they grow in age, they are not growing because they are lacking maturity. You can go through difficult situations. You can even go through traumatic situations and grow immensely. Yet it takes the maturity of self. It takes the control of oneself. It takes the assessment of oneself in order to properly resolve your conflict. I've been through various difficult moments in my life, but more than difficult, I've been through various traumatic situations in life. And because I went through these mature experiences, I had a different awareness of life. Now, awareness is great to have, yet if you lack maturity to properly understand it, it's really nothing. It's just trauma. You know what I mean? Like, it's just sitting trauma because you don't even have the tools within yourself to properly assess what you are aware of. So going through those experiences, I have matured in awareness. I've also matured in age, and with age comes maturity. There are more things that you are to experience that may not be on the lines of trauma, but more so on the lines of difficulty, like graduating high school, graduating college, leaving middle school. You have these different building blocks of experiences. Yet, without the maturity that I possess to properly assess these age-defying moments, these transformational experiences, I would not be able to properly function or rather grow from these experiences if I did not have the wisdom that comes from maturity. Some people, essentially is what I'm trying to say, some people will go through the worst things in life, the most traumatic things in life, the most difficult things in life. They will grow in age. They will go from their 20s, 30s, 40s, still navigating these circumstantial situations as if they have not gone through the experiences and the age-defying moments to grant them the maturity that they need to properly resolve their conflict. Yes, they have the maturity to be aware of it, to be put on game, but how do you get out of it? Neither my friend nor myself could foresee the gradual decline that my friend would experience soon after being integrated into our work culture and or environment. So when I met my friend at work. A lot of friendships are formulated within workspaces or academic spaces. A lot of times we like to minimize these experiences. We like to minimize school relationships or work relationships, but if you are existing in capitalism, a lot of your relationships are either formed at school or at work. They're formed in places where you're trying to make money, and they're formed at places where you're actually making money. So I formed a really good friendship with a work associate, and when I met this individual, I was already integrated to the culture of our facility. I already knew the managers, I already knew the associates. I was really cool and cordial and respected by many of my associates in the same way that I respected them. So when I met this person, they were just a bit clueless as to how to navigate retail. And because I could identify with that level of oblivion, I wanted to assist them. When I was introduced to retail, when I was introduced to the facility that we work at, no one told me what to do, how to do it, who to look out for. You know, no one gave me any guidance or direction. I had to figure it out on my own. So basically, through our friendship, I really assisted in building this individual's confidence, awareness, and, just work ethic. I assisted in his growth. I did not make him who he is. I did not make him work harder. I did not make him work smarter. So I'm not here to assume accountability for his growth, but I can assume accountability for my assistance within that process. So this friend, might I add, is older than myself, yet he has a naive mind. He has a mind of a 20-year-old, although he may be 26, 27, 28. We're not going to get specific, but he's knocking on 30. So at the time when I met this person, they were working 3 jobs, 2 of which were within like fast food and 1 of which was retail. The retail job was new. The fast food jobs were pretty seasoned. Inevitably, this friend ended up losing his 2 fast food jobs, and he really had to focus on navigating this retail job. None of our managers saw any hope within him. No one spoke life into him. Nobody wanted to help him. All they wanted to do was ridicule everything that he was doing. Because I had empathy and sympathy for what he was going through, I wanted to help him. I knew I needed to help him. He lost his job. He was falling behind on rent even when he had 3 jobs. He did not have any form of transportation, no family here. So I wanted to help him. I was advocating for him, like, just give him a chance. Just give him a chance. So basically, with a bit of avocation, with a bit of guidance, my friend was able to really get more hours. He was able to just do more at the store. He was able to experience more. I let him know the hierarchy of supremacy. I let him know, this is our general manager, this is our assistant manager, this is our grade 7, this is our grade 3. You need to talk to this person. You need to do this job. If you're not doing anything, you need to look like you're doing something. Like, I just put him on game. So I say all this to say, I always try to integrate a moment within my relationships where I just talk to my significant others. I try to ask them, how do they feel within themselves? How do they feel within the relationship? What can I do to be a better friend? What have I said to forsaken our relationship? What can be done or what has not been done. So basically I did that with one of my friends, and it first started off with casual conversation, and it led into a deeper conversation of how they are not entrusting of others. They do not trust others. And at first I was like, okay, I get it. The second time I was like, okay, I get it. And then the third time I was like, okay, now I need to listen. Not as if I wasn't listening previously, but to place heavy emphasis on how you do not trust anyone, and to say it with such conviction, and to say it so intentionally and directly. That's when I really had to listen. And then I also had an experience prior to this where the friend just came in and their vibe was off. And I'm a big person of vibes. If you know anything about, the human functionality, we are essentially just a body of electricity. Electrical currents are keeping our hearts beating. So when we sense a vibe, we are sensing energetic frequency from one another. So I could just sense that this person was not feeling good. So we get into conversation, and basically this individual says, I don't have any friends. I don't have anyone I trust here. I don't trust anyone. I just don't have any friends. Like, I have no friends at all. And given that experience and the previous experience discussed, it really caused me to have a bit of self-reflection. Of course, I communicated my thoughts and sentiments to my friend, and I definitely understand their perspective and their stance within their belief. Yet, it's a bit flawed. It's a bit flawed because it's like, you don't have any friends? Are you seriously going to tell me that you don't have any friends? So what was it that we were doing for the past year? When you were getting evicted, who sent you money for your rent? When you needed to get to work and you did not have any means of transportation, who gave you the money for that Lyft, for that Uber? When you said you were hungry and you didn't even ask, and I gave you money for food, like, what is that? If that's not friendship, if that's not love, if that's not me, trying to utilize love languages to encourage you and to secure you within this relationship, within this friendship, what is it? I feel like if you cannot trust anybody in this world, your family, your friends, yourself is who you do not trust. If you cannot trust anybody in this world, you don't trust yourself. Yes, there are certain occasions where you just cannot trust certain people, family, friends, so on and so forth. But if you walk around this earth and people are giving you genuine love, they are communicating their love to you, they are verbalizing their love to you, they are actively showing you that you are loved. If you cannot accept that genuine sentiment, then you don't trust yourself. I have always loved this individual genuinely and deeply, as if this was a brother of my own. There are certain people within my life today that I had to reinstate my trust within. There are certain people that I could very well live without, yet their presence is crucial to my existence. Yes, I could be functional without them, but I don't think I would be as highly functional as I am today without them. With them, I find that I am more productive than I probably would be without them. Not saying that I could not function or be productive without them, but there is a necessity for them to be in my life, obviously. For many of us, it could be our grandparents, it could be our cousins, it could be our sisters, our brothers, our parents, aunts, uncles, whomever it may be. Oftentimes I find that family, their roles in your life are quite crucial, essential. The fabric of yourself lies within them. So there have been certain family members that I had to reinstate my trust within because they have done just some outlandish stuff that I would have never imagined them to do by themselves, to themselves, and furthermore, to me. And there was a point in life where past experiences, past conflicts, and difficulties traumatized me to where I could not trust that person, even when they were showing me that they were capable of being entrusted again. So, for example, I have family members that struggle with substance abuse. They struggle with addiction. And through their addiction, they have said, they have done certain things that have been out of their character or enhances a part of their character that should not be enhanced in the way that it was. Sometimes certain addictions, certain substances can really reveal the darkness within a person that has attracted them or allured them to that substance to begin with. So there have been certain family members that are, substance abusers, addicts, And they have done certain things that just really, that have really just caused me to just take away my trust. I could not trust them. What they said, what they did could not be trusted given repetitious behavior. So after going through a spiritual breakthrough, a religious breakthrough, therapeutic healing, they began to resolve that issue of substance, of addiction, and they began their healing process. And within their healing process, they begin to make efforts that are directed towards reinstating the trust that you once had within them. If not the same, better. You see the genuine efforts, you see the intent, you know that it's real. You know that it's genuine love, it's genuine words, it's genuine. Say that person is just trying to communicate the best way that they can through the love languages that are best expressed to you in order to assure you that they love you and that they care for you and that they want you to trust them again so that you can rebuild a damaged relationship. Yet you choose not to trust them because you don't trust yourself with them within that relationship. And that's all you have to say. I'm not saying that's a bad thing to feel or to exhibit or to resort to. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, don't say you don't trust everyone, making it seem like everyone's out to get you, when really you just can't trust yourself within that type of dynamic. And that's how I felt with my friend. So I say that if you cannot trust anyone else, you in turn cannot trust yourself, because when someone is genuinely showing you that they are making efforts to change the narrative that exists, to change the perception of their character, when they are showing you genuine efforts and you still feel as though you cannot trust them, even if you identify the efforts as genuine and true, you still feel like you can't trust them, you can't trust yourself. You don't trust yourself in that relationship and around that person, because you don't know what you would do when given the opportunity to engage again, to relive something once lived. You cannot walk this earth not trusting anyone, because if you truly do not trust a soul on this earth, you are in fact saying that you do not trust yourself. To not trust anyone, you don't trust yourself. There is a level of control that you have within trust. So for some people, I find that they control themselves and they control their trust by not giving it to anyone, by not allowing themselves to share that exchange. So much so that they really begin to minimalize the trust that they have within themselves, the trust of their control, to know that they will be clear within their discernment to walk away from depleting situations, from depleting people, the control to know how to navigate conversations, how to navigate confrontations until you have to depart from that relationship. Yet hopefully you don't have to do that and you reach a resolution for a better solution. So yeah, that's really what I wanted to share. I wanted to share that if you don't trust anyone, your family, your friends, your coworkers, if you can't trust these people, even if it's a % of trust, if you cannot, give them just a bit of your trust, not an ounce, not a percentage, you really don't trust yourself. walking this earth with a lack of trust for anyone, even yourself. Now, of course, given certain circumstantial situations, trust should be voided. Trust should definitely be voided unto people that have proven themselves to be untrustworthy. Yet if they are making efforts, genuine efforts in pursuits of resolving that trauma that they have caused, that difficulty that they have caused, and you still reject it, I really feel like a lot of times that displays and or demonstrates that you don't necessarily trust yourself enough to trust them. And that's okay too. I'm not saying that that's a terrible thing, but if you walk this earth saying you don't trust anyone, that's the biggest issue. Especially when people have never given you a reason not to trust them. I've never given my friend a reason not to trust me. Not that I know of, not that, nothing that has ever been disclosed unto me. I never have given them a reason to question my gestures or my affirmations or my intentions. When they needed something, when they wanted something, even when they didn't ask, but I knew they needed it, they wanted it, or they could use it, I did it. I gave it. I said it. Because sometimes you can create scenarios within your head, and I feel like that's what my friend does. He creates scenarios based on insecurities that he has within himself, projecting his insecurities. He can exude himself as being the most confident person, but there will be moments where he speaks of insecurities and doesn't even fully identify them as such until it's, announced unto him like, hey, that sounds like this, or that might be this. But that's neither here nor there. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that YouTube jazz. Thank you for watching, and peace.